Assalamualaikum madam, my name is Akmal bin KHALIZAN from CS1105C, and today we will be presenting to you about our case study. We were assigned with case study number 7. So the organisation that we work with is Hotel Pet Sedan Berhad. They are a pet bonding company exclusively towards cats. Their building is designed with special rooms for pets with modern installations. This organisation also have their own website where they display their services and sell all their products. Since this organisation relies heavily on the ability to share information throughout the whole company efficiently, our team was assigned to set up the data communication of this organisation. This involves designing, configuring, and setting up the wired connection for this organisation. Wired networking, the reason we chose wired networking is because they are faster and more secure compared to wireless networking. The cost of wired networking is also less expensive compared to wireless networking, so it's also another reason why we chose wired networking over wireless networking.
Assalamualaikum madam, my name is Akmal, part 5 from class 5C. Today I'm going to present to you our case study 7, which is you and your team need to design, set up and configure the wired LAN for Hotel Pet Sedan Berhad. This company provide the requirement as follows. Now they need to provide 10 PCs and 5 laptops for their staff. All the PCs and laptop are connected to switches via cable. All the switches will be connected to router using the wired LAN as outgoing sources. All the wired cabling used for the setup must at least be a UTP cable. Beside that, this company requests your team to set up their web server regarding their hotel pet services and product. All the PCs and laptop staff are required to be able to access their website as default successfully. Now, after studying this case study, we came up with this network design that you can see on the left hand side. Now the main router, we give it an IP of 192.168.1 and 0.1, which is then connected to switch A that has all the 10 PCs that is required for the first floor, and also it is connected to the 3 server that is stored in the server room. The server is for the web server that Hotel Pets required us to include in this project. Now the second switch is at the second floor, which is then connected to the 5 laptop that is required, that they want their staff to have at the second floor. Now after setting up everything, it is all done via cables and there is no wireless connectivity. Now that everything is up and running, we're going to test the switch A connection. After entering the IP for the web server, it should open the website, and yes, it is PC0 at the first floor successfully opened the website, which is the Hotel Pets main site, and that's for the first floor. Now let's test whether this can also be done at the second floor. Now I'm going to open the laptop and enter the same IP address, which is our server IP, and it should also open the site, and it successfully opened the site. Now our project is up and running. There's no issues with anything connection. There's no connection issues, and it solved all the requirements that is needed. I guess that's all from me. Thank you.
For cost and implementation, there are three things that are required. The first one is network devices and cabling. The second is hardware requirements or specification. And the third is software requirements or specification. The first item is network switch. The brand is D-Link, a 5-port and managed network switch. The hardware specification is number of ports is 5 and the network speed is 10,000 megabits per second and the network speed class is gigabit. The second item is a server. The brand is Dell PowerEdge T30. The hardware specification, the first one is the processor. It is 3.3 GHz, 8 mega cache, 4 core and 4 thread. The RAM is 8 GB and the HDD is 1 TB. The software specification for it is Windows Server. The third item is a router. It is a TP-Link R473G wired router. The hardware specification for it is the number of ports is 4 and it is a 1000 M RJ45 LAN ports. The fourth and the fifth item is a RJ45 network cable. We uses two different lengths. The first is 1.5 meters and the second is 5 meters. The hardware specification for it is the network speed is 1000 megabits per second. The sixth item is a PC. We uses HP EliteDesk 800G2 SFF PC desktop set. The hardware specification for it, the first one is the PC processor. It is 3.60 GHz, 4 core and 4 thread, and the PC RAM is 4 GB. And the software specification for it is Windows 10 Pro 64-bit. The seventh and the last item that are required are a laptop or notebook. We uses HP 14BS537TU 14 inches. The hardware specification for it, the processor is 1.6 GHz, 2 mega cache. The RAM is 4 GB and the HDD is 500 GB. The software specification for it is Windows 10 Home.
Strength and weaknesses. Strength: faster connection speed compared to wireless network. Fewer lost packets of data that need to be transmitted. UTP cables are less expensive than STP cable. UTP cables are easier to work with during installation because of its smaller cable, as it does not fill the wiring duct as fast as other cables. Weaknesses: wired networks lack security. Connecting them usually require physical access to a network port. Wired networks are almost inevitable use when it comes to connecting computer systems across long distance. Costly compared to wireless network when upgrading to up-to-date network. Issues of the project are overburdened router, cable is too long so that makes data interference, costly wired, and lack security.
Now that wired networking has been set up, we can now discuss how we can maintain or even improve the network quality. The first step is by increasing the budget. We recommend the organization to expand their budget or invest more on the setup. The organization can spend money on a higher budget router with a higher rate of transferring data. We also recommend the company to invest more by making the switch from a UTP cable to an STP cable. UTP cables only provide basic protection, while STP cables stop signals from passing through the outer coating and entering nearby wires. Another way to improve the network is in terms of security. It is important to prioritize our network security, because we want to safeguard important data. One way to improve network security is constantly updating firmware or software updates on all network infrastructure components. We also highly recommend changing the default passwords and checking the settings for any insecure configuration. Unlike wireless connections, wired connections do not have a WPA2 personnel to provide a layer of security. Therefore, we highly suggest the organization to implement MAC address filtering, which can prevent employees from causing a serious security hole. For example, employees cannot allow guests to plug into the private network. Okay, thank you.